Good afternoon. How are you? I'm Kisha.
I'm doing good. How are you? I'm Christina.
I'm Christina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, what brings you in today?
Well, I've been having issues dealing with my son's passing. I gave birth to my son on March 18th, and he was born stillborn. It was very unexpected for me. So I'm just kind of having trouble dealing with it, getting through the emotions, and it kind of at times seems like a dream and not real.
Okay. I can understand how that could be very, very difficult for a mom who's looking forward to meeting her unborn child. So, tell me, how have you been dealing with the loss?
Well, at times I just cover up how I feel with a smile and just try to go through my day-to-day as if things never happened. But there's always little reminders, like pictures I had taken of him. I made a little corner in my living room. I call it Noah's Corner. That was his name, Noah. And I put these little candles up on the shelf that I hung, and I had these pictures I had taken professionally of him at the hospital. They made him look like he was sleeping. I hung those up on the wall. So seeing things like that or going in his room can be difficult for me at times. I don't start crying like most people would probably think that I would, but it is hard for me to understand at times why this happened.
Right. I can understand how that would be very, very hard to deal with. The name Noah sounds like a really right name. How did you choose that name? What made you come up with that name?
Well, to be honest, one day when I was driving, the name popped into my head. Now I am very religious, so like I always think spiritually when it comes to things like names or certain situations. So with his name, I had even looked up biblical names online, but for some reason I couldn't get Noah out of my head, and that wasn't one of the listings that I had found on the internet. There was like Jeremiah and Benjamin and different biblical names, but Noah just popped in my head one day, like I said, when I was driving, and it means to give comfort or rest. I didn't find that out till after I decided to name him that, but I just really liked that name. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't get it out of my head. No matter what other name I came across that sounded good, Noah just seemed to be the name that I like. Yeah, it just stuck like glued for me.
That is a very nice name, Noah. And I heard you say that you have candles put up on
Yeah, they're
that kind of helps you, like when you have the candles and the pictures.
yeah, someone told me that their friend had experienced something similar with their child passing. So at night they would do like they'd light a candle every night for their baby. And so I have like this angel in the middle of the candles that is battery powered. So I turn that on every night, not at a specific time, around 7 or 8. And I just leave it on until I go to bed, and along with battery-powered candles. They're not, like, I could leave them on all day and it would burn the house down, but that to me is kind of like just a remembrance of him every day. It's something that was kind of sit underneath them candles and watch TV or do whatever activities we end up doing as a family, and it just kind of makes me feel at ease.
That's very nice that you're going to keep his memory alive.
Yeah, I'm trying, yeah, and I just got his headstone ordered the other day. I had raised money on GoFundMe and ended up raising $900 towards that, and then, coincidentally, my mom, she'd been fighting for her social security for years, and back in like, October of last year, she got part of her social security, and she made sure everybody had a good Christmas and stuff like that. And then, and of course, she definitely helped out with my baby shower because they paid her $20,000 then, and she had bought like a car and what have you. And then, so she wasn't supposed to get the remainder of her settlement until September. But on the day Noah was born, my mom got the remainder of her money, and I kind of feel like that's a confirmation. One of my confirmations from God that everything's okay and He's going to help me take care of the situation, because, I mean, Social Security doesn't pay early, let alone 5 months.
Right.
And I feel like it coming in on the day that Noah was born it's too much of more than a coincidence. It, to me, is like God talking to me. And then, I kind of feel like with this whole thing that, and some people would think I'm crazy, but that this was supposed to happen. And what I mean by that is Noah's umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck 7 times, and the nurse had mentioned to me that she'd never seen that in 42 years. Never that many times being wrapped. She'd seen 4. But she said the odds of it even happening once or twice is only 3%. So if I even try to do the math, there is no odds of it being wrapped 7 times. And 7 is the number of, it's God's favorite number, and it's the number of perfection and completion. And that to me is a sign that this was supposed to happen, that maybe God needed a special angel and He had to take He needed a body to put Noah's soul in. And so He lent him to me for 9 months. And then had to take him back. I don't know. But I kind of feel like that because of Noah, I have other family members that have been getting closer to God, and He's just changed a lot of things. He's definitely opened my eyes. It's crazy how someone that you barely know or have never met can change your life in so many ways.
Right.
There's some women that have came to me and said that this situation with Noah has helped them to either gain closure on like an abortion they've had. I just had several people talk to me about situations that they've been in that I had never met anyone that has dealt with a stillborn or a child's death that I personally know, but it just all of a sudden all these people that I never knew they had these problems, they started like talking to me about it, and they could relate to my situation. So I feel like with Noah's passing that has helped a lot of people to get over their situations, or to, like I said, to get closure, and not have such a hard time understanding why they went through what they did.
Exactly. That's a very good way. That is very inspiring, very good way to look at it. So it sounds like to me that your experience with losing your child is also have brought, like, it's like a light has been opening up to your eyes. It seems like I can tell you're a woman of faith, and you feel like Noah was here for a purpose and a reason. He came for a short period of time, for just a little purpose. So how do you have a good support, like your family, how are they supporting you with this loss?
My family is very supportive, as well as my husband's family. My mom tries to take me out for lunch or do something with me about once or twice a week, and my dad's normally with her. My dad's not working right now because the same day Noah was born, he ended up having surgery on his hand at the same hospital, coincidentally enough. So, you know, with Noah's passing, another weird thing that happened at Noah's showing was I had done a presentation in school about things that had led up to my point at this point in my life, and I had talked about my cousin who had molested me and that being very difficult for me, and I still had never really gained closure on that. So, you know, and that happened when I was 14 and I'm 28 now. So, you know, was that 14 years now I've been dealing with this unresolved issue that I just can't get over. And, you know, even though I forgave him, I really just couldn't fully forgive the situation. And he came to Noah's showing, and my cousin did, and he told me that he was sorry, which he had never done that up until that point. And, you know, I had seen him at family reunions, and but, you know, and I found it so weird that just a couple weeks before Noah was born, that I was in my class talking to people, and I was crying about it, and I just didn't know how to deal with the past and things that he had done. But whenever he came to Noah's showing and he told me he was sorry, you know, I told him that I forgave him a long time ago, and I really did forgive him at that point. It was like I was almost set free, and that that things were just better, and that although there's been awkwardness in the past, that going forward, you know, if I have to see him at a family function or whatever, things will be better. And I feel like with Noah's death, although it's very unfortunate and I wish things were different, I feel that it is helping my family to get closer, and like I said, people are getting closer to God. You know, the pastor that I brought or had officiate Noah's ceremony, a lot of my family members were able to relate to him, and because he had previously been a drug dealer, and you know, he's definitely not perfect, and he's got tattoos up and down his arms, but he preaches with such passion that it's incredible how sucked in you can get to his word, because he's just that powerful with it. And I feel like all this coming together is just like, you know, I have all these pieces to this puzzle that God has given me, and that yeah, I'm just missing a few pieces, but it's starting to make sense to me why things happen the way they do, because, you know.
Right, I understand what you're saying. It sounds like what I'm hearing. Well, first of all, I want to go back and say that I am so sorry that you have lost your baby.
Thank you.
And you sound, just listening to you, like you are very strong. You're just here, you're talking about it, you're very strong, and I can see your strength in losing, you know, this loss, this great loss that you have dealt with. And I can tell that you are, it's like Noah came, you said his name was meant to, the meaning of it was to give comfort and rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it sounds like his purpose was. You know, those 9 months that he came and left, it sounded like he came to give comfort and rest. Listening to your, just listening to you talk, I could hear a lot of positive things that you are taking from this loss, the loss of Noah. It just sounds like Noah really did come to give comfort and rest. And even your testimony, or you sharing with me the fact that how your cousin came, how all these things, the coincidence of all these things happening in your life came when Noah came,
Yeah.
and how you got the deliverance of comfort and rest. So I can really see that you are pulling through this with your faith and your strength. Where do you think you are with and your grieving state? Where do you think you are?
Well, they say that you're supposed to experience all these different emotions and feelings like anger and resentment and denial. And, people experience them at different, not always in the same pattern or this, everybody's different. I haven't really come upon anger yet. So, another counselor that I've been seeing says you need to experience all these emotions to grieve properly or get closure with it, but I'm having trouble with the anger part. I'm not really angry with God. I feel like I should be, or that that's kind of an expectation of society is you should be angry. But I'm not angry. I just kind of want to know why. So,
Right.
and whenever I was in the hospital and Noah had passed, for some reason I kept thinking 7 is a biblical number or something. I couldn't remember exactly what the number 7 meant, but so I Google it, and of course one of the first things that I read is talking about Noah's Ark, and how God had Noah shut the ark on the 7th day, and yeah, it's so bizarre just the way things happen for me, and that God gave Noah the rainbow as his promise, and he'll never flood the earth again. And so that is what I'm putting on Noah's headstone, is the ark and a rainbow with his picture on there. But just kind of Noah is my promise from God that everything is okay, or hopefully going to be okay. I may not understand exactly why things are going the way they are now, but eventually, I'll get to see him again, as long as I do things the way that I'm supposed to. And
it sounds like that. What I'm hearing is that your faith, you're a woman of faith, and that's what's pulling you through this.
Yeah.
Your faith in God, and it sounds like you're leaning and depending on God. And I do want to commend you for being so strong, and it just, you gotta keep going when things are tough like this. And you having all those things around the house to help you remember Noah and things like that. How is that? How's your husband and daughter doing with that?
they're doing good. He works a lot, I think, to try to either pass time and make things just not seem as hard as they are, or I'm not sure honestly why he's working so much. But and Abby, my daughter, she has her moments, but overall she's doing pretty well. And I think the fact that I can't say that I would rather have this situation over a child that maybe passes from SIDS or something, but I think the fact that we didn't really get to know his personality, and I think that if you have a child and they pass after you've got to bond with them and stuff like that, I feel like that would be so much harder. So I think that the fact that although we did know Noah, we didn't really know him in terms of personality and bonding with him. So I think that is one thing that I can say is positive, that Abby is not going to have such a hard time getting over this, and she's already been seeing a counselor, so I think that's definitely helped her grieve so far. I think that she's kinda like me, where she hides, wears her emotions on her sleeve at time, but, covers it up with a smile and just tells people she's okay when she's not. So, like I said, I think that her seeing her counselor is definitely going to be beneficial to her in the future, because, she probably feels like she can't talk to me about it because she doesn't wanna upset me. So, hopefully her talking with her school counselor make a difference for her and help her express how she's feeling instead of bottling it up inside.
Okay, was, I just admire your strength, and, it sounds like you have a good supportive family, from what I've heard, and, your strength that you're holding on to, your faith for God is helped pulling you through, and, I'm glad that you came and opened up and talked to me about something so tragic in your life. And I really do believe you all came for a good reason and purpose, and God will give you all the answers that you need. And He feels like that you will help give you closure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but so I would say, or I guess I would just ask, would you like to come in for another session?
Yeah, I definitely like talking to you. It made me feel better, and I think that I could benefit a lot from it. Not bottling it up and talking to someone instead of pretending like it never happened, or trying to be normal all the time, whatever that means.
Yeah, because I think it'll be good for you to, get that out, because that's something so hard to deal with in life, so it would be great for you to be able to have someone to talk to about that. Because that's something that's hard for us to deal with in this life, is the loss of a loved one. So I really do appreciate your strength and your courage and everything that it took for you to even walk in here and open up about something so, so emotional. And I commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I thank you, and we can probably set up a session to meet up next week, and we'll just see where you are, and we'll just talk and see what we can get accomplished, or whatever you need.
Sounds great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.